What is up, guys? TD here, bringing you our duo guide to the Madness of Deathwing, the final boss in Dragon Soul on 10-man difficulty. This fight was actually really easy. It was one of the easier ones of the entire raid. When you start off, you'll talk to Thrall, get the fight started. Deathwing himself will pop up and spike his claws down into all these different islands, each of which has its own aspect that gives you a buff. And there used to be a way of going about doing it. I don't know if we messed up and are doing it, or if it just bugged out or what, but it didn't quite go as planned going from platform to platform. But anyways, he'll stick his claws into all these islands. First thing you want to kill will be the mutated corruption, the giant tentacle that'll spawn on the back. It doesn't take too much force at level 90 to get that down. After it's down, run up, DPS the arm tentacles down. You'll see the Elementium bolts fly in, and as long as not Nosdormu, is it Nosdormu? The Bronze Dragon is up, he'll have these little portals that will slow down the speed of the Elementium bolt and make it a lot easier for you to DPS it down. Otherwise, if it does hit the ground, it'll do an explosion, deal some damage, and then you'll destroy it while it's sticking into the ground. Other than that, take down the arm tentacles. At first, also you'll have Ysera burning off all the blistering tentacles, but later in the fight you will need to deal with those one at a time. They cannot be AoE'd down. He'll also begin to hemorrhage. Regenerative bloods will spawn. DPS them down. The first ones we tried to just kind of ignore, and that didn't seem to work out too well, but when they pop up, they're pretty easy to take down. They've only got, I think, like 1.8 million health, something like that. Not too much. But take them down, DPS the arm tentacle down. Once you do that, you want to switch islands. And again, I don't know if there's a certain way you're supposed to do it or if it's automated. It's been so long since we had done this raid, I could hardly remember it. But we went ahead and moved on to the next platform with Alexstrasza and work on the next arm tentacle. The mutated corruption tentacle spawn, and yeah, see, this is where we realized we went to that platform to start fighting, and the mutated corruption tentacle and everything started on this other platform. So we had to quickly jump and change platforms and continue on, and I don't know if that's meant to happen or if something with the low amount of players bugged it, or I don't really know. If you know, leave a comment below and let me know. But again, take down the mutated corruption, then go to work on the arm tentacle. When the Elementium bolt flies in, DPS it down. At this point, you'll still have the red dragon to burn the blistering tentacles off when they spawn, so that's nothing to worry about right now. DPS down the regenerative bloods when they come. And there are the blistering tentacles, although as you can see, she burns them right off. You don't have to do anything with them at this point in the fight, but later on you'll have to. And this fight was always kind of one of my least favorites. I really hated the way that they ended this raid as far as Deathwing goes. It would have been much cooler if the fight would have taken place, on land, maybe a combination air-land battle. You know, what you expect from your regular dragon fights, but I guess, I don't know, they wanted to make it different and interesting, and just never really caught my attention as something cool. I would have rather just fought the massive, humongous dragon by itself. Oh, also, he'll begin to cast Cataclysm, which has like a 60-second cast time, and basically you have 60 seconds to finish DPSing down the arm tentacle that you're on to stop it, which at 90, with two people should be absolutely no problem. Again, this was one of the easier boss fights that is in this entire place for a duo at 90. Move on to the next platform. Now this is where you have to start taking down the blistering tentacles, mutated corruption. Now the blistering tentacles, like I said, they cannot be AoE'd. You have to sit there and tab and single target each one down. Luckily they have almost no health, usually 1 to 2 hits and they're down, so it's just a matter of tabbing between them, taking them down. The mutated corruptions, they still do a fair amount of damage. Nothing that should hurt you too bad, especially if you play like a tank class. But it's something you should, watch out for, keep your health up, and all that good stuff. Take out the Elementium Bolt as it flies in. I have some blistering tentacles again to deal with here, and again, sit tab one at a time, take them down. 100,000 health apiece, 1 or 2 hits for most classes at 90 to knock them out, depending on your gear. I mean, my Death Knight's gear is around 517, so it's nothing spectacular at all. It's mostly, I think, Timeless Isle gear with some Raid Finder pieces, as I don't really play him that much besides to do this stuff, because Blood Death Knights are just the best class to do this on. I've done duos and solos on, my Hunter and Warrior and some of my other characters. In the end, you just cannot beat the healing and the blood shield and the cooldowns between Anti-Magic Shell and Icebound Fortitude, Bone Shield. If you have the sacrifice for your pet, that's a massive heal for you. You've got Vampiric Blood that increases. I mean, there's just so much that you have in the way of survivability as Blood Death Knight. It's ridiculous. Onto this platform, taking down the mutated corruption again, and by now the only buff we have left is the blue Dragonflight buff, which I believe is a damage buff that increases your damage and causes, that spell weaving or something like that. That's a chance to cause extra damage or something like that. Which is a good final buff to have, since at this point you're really just focusing on finishing the fight off. Elementium Bolt will fly in. You won't have a chance to get it before it hits the ground, but it only explodes for about 50,000, and then when it hits the ground it doesn't have much health. You can take it out. It'll continue to do damage as it's on the ground. It'll pulse, but it's only like 7,000 or 8,000 damage, so nothing too major. Take it out. Make sure you take out the blistering tentacles when they spawn. Continue to work on the wing arm tentacle. And once you get this one down, you'll have to run and jump all the way back over to the other side to fight Deathwing's head. Kill all the regenerative bloods that come out. Not at all bad fight, and this is a good boss to farm. If there's a few nice pieces of transmog gear that come from this boss. I like the sword as one of them. I had the two-handed sword for a long time. I think it was on my Death Knight that I had it. I really liked it. And I think the heroic version of the sword was actually like one of the best PvP weapons you could get at the time, and a lot of high-end PvPers would either buy or just get guilds to bring them in here and get it. Now Deathwing will fall, drop his ugly mug down to the platform, and you'll have to finish him off. He ends up only having about 20% health. At first, we were gonna fight the ads, but then we decided, nah, let's just focus on Deathwing. He's got such little health now. The ads aren't gonna be able to kill us before we manage to kill him. So let's just blow all our cooldowns, heroism, ascendance, the whole shebang, and just take him down. Threw down Death and Decay to try to keep the ads on me, and popped our little self-heal cooldowns, shield cooldowns, all that, and finished him off. That's it, guys. That wraps up Dragon's Soul 10-man for our duo guides. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the entire series as well. Be sure to leave any comments or questions or anything below, and I will see you guys on the next video.